Hey, it's Aaron, Metal Theologian. All right, we're gonna do 5 random records today. You know, it's funny. Recently, Vinyl Richie kind of called me out for never actually only doing 5 records. So, depending on how the timing works out, I'm thinking we continue that, like show maybe 6 or 7. But we'll see. It depends on how much bullshit comes up in the meantime, right? Oh, the coffee's ready. All right, so anyway, the dice are here. I've actually expanded a little bit. I have 2 cubes up here of metal, and so I don't know. You know, it works with the 4-sided die and the 10-sided die. So here we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. A little bit of housekeeping here. It's funny, my kid just walked in the room. When I started this channel, I thought I'd just be fucking self-conscious if anyone walked in the room. I don't give a shit. I was actually surprised by that. Like, I thought I'd be self-conscious watching the videos. Doesn't bother me. Anyway, yeah, I totally expected I'd be like, you know, it's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm more serene than I thought I was. I kind of doubt that. I'm drinking a Fanta today, actually. My brother was in town last week, and he and his kids had gotten a 12 of Fanta, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd had one. I don't know if I'd ever had one out of a can before, but I'd just been bottles, you know. So you see these around in Germany a lot more than over here. It's I don't know, really call it on. Usually when you do see Fantas around, it's like in Mexican shops, that sort of thing. Like if you go to a Mexican grocery, you're more likely to find Fanta than a normal one, you know, an American one. Which is most of what we have in America. But we have some Mexican groceries. You can find some good shit there, so. Anyway, this isn't really a proper review. I just an orange soda. But it's pretty fucking good. It's really sweet. It kind of tastes more like a Tang soda, like orange, like, yeah, it totally tastes like fucking Tang, is what it tastes like. But you know something, man? Here's the Tang. If it's good enough for the fucking astronauts, it's good enough for me. All right. Oh yeah, almost forgot. We're listening to Golden Dragon. Yeah, this is a reissue from a while ago. Yeah, it was Subliminal Sounds who did this. I really don't know anything about the band. I just heard it was cool, and I was like, well, what the hell, man? I'll check it out. Yeah, the main guy's Filipino, but I think it was basically an American band. I don't think they're like from the Philippines. So, anyway, yeah, the back looks kind of improvised. Like they didn't actually have back cover art. You know, see how it kind of looks like a flyer with those edges and shit. So I don't know. I have no idea what originals. They're probably impossibly rare. If they even exist, this could be one of those things where there was only ever a test pressing or something like that, for all I know. But anyway, it's a pretty cool record, man. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but I enjoy it a lot, you know. Like it has that early sort of, it's like, it says like 1980, 81. It kind of has that like heavy sound from then, without being like too rooted in the 70s. You know, sometimes I like that shit that's really rooted in the 70s. This definitely has some of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. But not as much as a band like, shit, I don't know, Survivor, the All Your Pretty Moves band here. This one doesn't count. Yeah, this fucking record right here. This is about the same time. It's within a year or two. It's like 79 or 80, this one. This is a great record. I really like this a lot, but it's definitely has some serious 70s vibes. And so does this one, but I don't know, it just doesn't vibe out as... I was gonna say dated. I'd kind of be fibbing if I said this didn't sound dated at all. I don't know, man. I think it's a good record. Alright, we're rolling here. Shit. I got a 38, which means I think I'm gonna have to roll again. I'm not sure how many fucking cubes I have now. Yeah, it's 34, so we're rolling again. Alright, 26. So, 16, 20. Gotta be this one right here. Where I just pulled the Survivor record out of. Wouldn't it suck if I pulled the same one out twice? What do we have? All right. Well, I always say that this whole sort of thing is me sort of seeing if I'm going to stump myself. I forgot I had this fucking thing. And actually, I didn't even get this all that long ago. It was in the last year or two, I'm pretty sure. But like, it was one of those ones that I got like in a bigger pack. There were like other things in there that I kind of cared about more, and I played this a couple times and put it away and kind of forgot about it. Yeah, man. They have German names. It was on Bonebreaker, which was a German, like, third-tier metal label. Not that nothing on Bonebreaker was good, but, like, if Noise was the top tier, and Noise is already an independent label, right? Then, like, I don't know, what would the second tier have been? Like, Scratch, maybe, is probably second tier, and Bonebreaker is, like, third tier, like, with Wishbone, you know? All right, we're gonna put it on, man. Fucking stainless steel. That's what we gotta do, and I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be terrible. You know, I mean, it's still a metal record. How bad could it possibly be? Especially because the worst shit is always the mediocre shit, you know? Like, shit can be great and shit can be awful, and both those can be entertaining. It's the shit in the middle that you got to be afraid of. And unfortunately, Bonebreaker kind of produced bands like that, so we'll see. This one might suck, but it's probably not going to be awful. Because if it were really awful, I would have remembered it. All right, here we go. Stainless steel in your back. It's not bad. Like kind of an obvious opening riff, but I'm not mad at it, you know? It's funny, it's really simple. I like that singer isn't really that rough, but it kind of comes across a little bit rougher than it really is, I think, you know? I mean, kind of a good way. Yeah, we'll see if they can sustain a whole album, but this isn't bad. This isn't fucking bad at all, man. I think these dice are loaded. I rolled 38 again. What are the odds? Alright, 6. Alright, this is 6 right here. Well, shit, man. Dark Tranquility. Alright, I don't remember this one that well either, honestly. This record still has sort of a question mark over it in my mind, because like this whole melodic death metal shit, I don't really feel like I get it yet, you know? I talked about this a while back when I got a couple of In Flames reissues that I saw kicking around, or at least one, and like an Edge of Sanity one a few months before that. And like, I can dig this stuff, but I don't feel like I really have my head around it completely yet, you know what I mean? So it makes it a little bit hard to sort of talk about. It's, I sort of talk in terms of like general impressions and that sort of thing, but I think it's interesting. You know, there's a part of me where like just the idea of melodic death metal, like the idea that like it wasn't just one band that would attempt that, but that would like be a thing, even if it was a small thing that's mostly confined to Sweden. It's really interesting to me that exists, you know? You know, I was listening to something Metallurgy thing where they were talking about atmospheric black metal. I was wondering if they call that Atmo Black the way they call melodic death metal mellow death, you know? Yeah, anyway, this is one that I'm still figuring out. I I appreciate records like this because it's kind of cool to find something in here and go, you know something? It's time to revisit that one again and see if this time I completely get it, you know? But I'm going to leave it out. to listen to later. I haven't been listening to much death metal, but I think I can handle that. You know, because it'll challenge me a little bit. I don't think I'm in the mood to listen to like a Deicide record right now, even though I love Deicide. But Dark Tranquility, maybe this time I'll get it. And if so, then I'll be talking about it in my next video, right? Alright, we got a 2 this time. Not the most auspicious start this time, man. Alright, here we go. Number 2. Alright, Baron Rojo. This is kind of a classic Spanish band. Not really that heavy. But pretty consistently rocking, man. And kind of a hard band to not like, you know? I don't have a ton of their stuff. I think I have 2 records by them. Yeah. This one, and then this one I actually found in the wild at a shop in Colombia, so I had to grab it too, but... I'm actually going to leave this one off to listen to too. I haven't played this in a while. Volumen Brutal. Yeah. And this is the camouflage pressing with the song titles in English. I think it's still actually sung in Spanish, but I don't even fucking remember. There's a little Chapo Discos logo in the corner there. Yeah, it's funny. I've listened to a lot of Spanish metal since the last time I played that record, or the other one for that matter. And I kind of feel like I appreciate it more. You know what I mean? If you've been listening to like you know, especially if like your meat and potatoes is kind of like the American thrash scene. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I came up with. You know, there was other shit there too, obviously, but like you know, when I was right in those middle teen years, the biggest bands were like Metallica and Anthrax and shit like that, right? Megadeth. And when that's sort of where you're coming from, that shit can sound kind of wimpy and kind of unpersuasive, but like, I don't know, I think part of this is just that like, I have more tolerance for bullshit as I get older, at least certain kinds of bullshit. So like a band doesn't have to be as heavy to like draw me in. I was listening to Simon Magnus just earlier and thinking, man, I used to hate this record. Right now this sounds totally fine. Here, I'll show it real quick. Yeah, this one, man. I remember when I got this, I was like, fuck, man, that's barely even a metal record. It's kind of a stretch to even call it that. I mean, look at those fucking guys. They got those keyboards and shit, like he's Rick Wakeman or some shit. And I was just listening to this earlier this evening, and I was like, man, I used to hate this record, and now, I'm pretty okay with it, you know? Like, the first song is pretty rockin', Fast as Lightning, but really the whole rest of it is kind of like mid-paced to wimpy even. And, I don't know, I just like shit like this now, you know? Which is maybe it's why I've come to appreciate Spanish metal more, because a lot of Spanish metal isn't really all that heavy, you know what I mean? Even the bands that look really evil, like Evo and shit like that, you know? Or, Goliath, you know? They look really intense, but you put them on, they're really not all that tough, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Baron Rojo, though, I mean, they're like sort of the forerunners to a lot of that shit. Their early records, this one's like 81, I think. It's really pretty early. And yeah, if you want to look at who was doing what in 1981, there's fucking saxophone player on this one of places. Oh, shit, I have to pull the record out to see. I'm totally good with stainless steel, by the way. This is pretty good. Yeah, 81. So, like, if you compare what was coming out of Spain in 81 to what was coming out of Germany, like, with Accept, I mean, clearly the one was, like, way more important than the other, you know? But that said, I can totally enjoy some Baron Rojo, man. I dig that shit. I'm gonna put away the Simon Magnus record. I think I'm done with it, but I'll do that after the video. So we've got 2 more. At least 2 more, because we pulled 3, right? Four. Let's go to the early part of the alphabet here, man. Oh shit, look at that. Doing a lot of the death metal. This is my repackaging of a picture disc. Yeah. This is my copy of Symphonies of Sickness. I actually found this at, there's a record store in San Francisco where everything in the basement was $5. And a lot of those records were overpriced for $5. Like, a lot of it was like crap, like, well, shit that was like dollar records back in the 90s and not like $5 records. But every so often you'd find something like this. Yeah, this was sealed when I got it. And it was $5. So yeah, this is my copy of Symphonies of Sickness. I think this shit's cool. I think it's fun. I'm not as enamored with it as some people are. I'll tell you the truth, probably my favorite Carcass, I don't have them all, but of the ones that I have, probably my favorite is a Heartwork. Which is maybe blasphemy in certain quarters, but I know that record has its fans too, so... I'm just not the biggest Carcass fan generally, you know? I don't have any shit to talk about them. Got no beef with them at all. I like their records. I appreciate their place in metal history. But, they've never really blown my hair back, you know? And they're in good company on that front, man. You know another band like that? Fucking Death, you know? I like Death. I have their records. I listen to Death, you know? But they've never blown me away the way a band like Morbid Angel did. And Death was actually part of why I put my death metal records back in with the rest of my metal records. I had it separated out for a while when I was on a really big death metal kick a while back. That was what I want to listen to. It was several years ago, but it was recently enough that it's on YouTube if you want to go back and find those. But yeah, Death, like, none of their records really vibed out like death metal to me. Like, the early ones were more like hard thrash, and then, like, as it got more experimental, it was still kind of playing in its own, like, field. It didn't feel like, you know, like Morbid Angel or Deicide to me or something like that, you know? So I wasn't sure if I should put them. I mean, it's like, on the one hand, they're Death. They're like, you know, they're kind of looked on as the originators, you know? But on the other hand, you know, I don't know if it was really death metal. It's sort of like the early Obituary, too, you know? Although I like Death more than Obituary. All right, 27. That's this one right here. That's convenient. This is the fifth record, isn't it? We're not even 20 minutes in yet. Oh, fuck, man. I mean, this is a fucking classic. Fucking Stormtrooper Armies of the Night. I love this record so much. This kind of mid-paced shit. You hear that little quote of the German national anthem in there, by the way? It's kind of corny, man, but what the hell? Fucking 4 songs, well, 5 songs with the, yeah, it's 5 songs. But that band photo is so good, I forget how to count when I'm looking at it. This is awesome. I almost pulled this one to show when I was doing my, US metal EPs, but I was specifically focusing on private pressings there, and this one was on, it was marketed by Azra. Yeah, Ironworks. So I don't know how much of a real label Ironworks really was with Metal Storm and all that other shit that Dave Richards was doing. But it was technically a label. And a label with a lot of real bangers, too. So I couldn't include these guys in that video, but man, this record is so fucking good. I'm pretty sure there's a reissue of this kicking around now. So it's a little easier to get. But yeah, this is really... I mean, shit like this is why I collect records, man. It's just so fucking good. Yeah, I haven't really said much about this. I just said that it's great. It's like mid-paced. It chugs along. Like, it's kind of dumb, but like in a way that's just fucking perfect. You know what I mean? Like simple riffs, really straightforward. Like a really like sincere delivery to it. You know, they kind of remind me of Iron Gypsy. Who I almost put into that video until I remember that they were Canadian. So, not qualified for a US metal video, right? Iron Gypsy's fucking fantastic. Though, I'm gonna hype that record a little bit right now just because I love it so much. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this fucking thing, man. This is another great one. Great band photo, too, man. Like, that's what you want your band photos to look like. 4 songs, fucking great. Like, heavy, really kind of simple, but again, like, really sincere. Just fucking delivering, man. Now, this is 84, so, like, right sort of at that, pinnacle. It says right there, this EP is done on 8-track. Definitely does not sound overproduced, but the production is fine. It doesn't, like, sound shitty or anything like that. They're from Vancouver, man. That cover gives you a pretty good idea of what they're about, Like, heavy metal. Like, because the thing looks heavy and it's metal and it's fucking spitting fire. And, the drawing is open to criticism, Sort of on a stylistic point, for stylistic reasons. But it just fucking does what it needs to, and it does it really well. And that's how this whole fucking record is, man. It's so good. Yeah, For the Crown is probably my favorite song on this, of the 4 tracks. Actually, and Steamroller is probably my favorite song on the Stormtrooper record. So, if you listen to those two side by side, you might, get a little sense as to what I value about these records. All right. Let's roll one more time. I actually lost count now. I think I might have already done 5. $30. All right. That's right here. Shit. I kind of grabbed 2. Here, I'll show what they were because otherwise I feel like it's cheating, but then I'll pull again. I pulled 2 Venom 12 inches by accident. So this is Manitou, and this is Warhead. And, yeah, man, both these records were kind of a band in decline. I mean, Warhead is probably better than Manitou. Neither one is terrible. Yeah, but it's funny. All titles Power Metal Publishing. It says on this one 1983, and this one's 84. And yeah, I don't know, man. Venom peaked so early. That early shit was so good. Those first 2 LPs and the early singles, and then I don't know. They just couldn't sustain that. Maybe it was just too. With a lot of the private press records especially, I feel like there are a lot of bands where like what they had in them was one great album, and that's good. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, And 2 great albums, fucking brilliant, right? But when you have 2 great albums and then a really long and slow decline, I don't know, there's something a little bit sad about it, I think, That's kind of how I feel about Venom. Like, I kind of like to pretend that everything after Possessed just doesn't really exist. And I don't think At War with Satan or Possessed is all that great anyway. I really just think those first 2 are the really sort of classic Venom records. And, that doesn't mean the other shit isn't, like, good or fun. You know what I mean? I saw Venom in, like, it was just Kronos with 2 new guys. I saw him at the Fillmore in San Francisco, actually. That was in, like, maybe 2006, something like that. And I had fun at that show, man. It was good, but, like, it wasn't like Welcome to Hell era Venom, you know what I mean? And they didn't do any early shit either, because they totally did, And we played the whole side of that fucking record. Oh, I didn't pull another one. I said I was going to. I started talking about Venom, and then, alright, so this cube here now. I just shifted some of the stuff around, so I don't necessarily know where things are. Alright, what's this one? Virus. Yeah, speaking of, nasty, dirty, like, metal records, I really thought these guys were crap. I got Force Recon before I got this one. And, I thought it was kind of a turd for kind of a long time. And I think I would have gotten rid of it too. The only reason I didn't is because it sort of slipped through the cracks, you know? Like when I was unloading shit, not that I do that anymore, but like when I was unloading shit back then, I just sort of overlooked that one. And then later on I go, fuck, why didn't I get rid of this one when I was getting rid of them? But I eventually came around, you know, after that I sort of got to a point where I was like, okay, so this is just destined to be in my collection. So it became one of those that I pulled out like once a year. And one day I pulled it out and I was like, man, this is actually great. You know, it's super shitty in all sorts of ways. They're on the same label as Deliverance, who are probably a fake band, but were absolutely fucking brilliant. So they had that going for them. I'm gonna fire this shit up. Yeah, I would even go as far as to say, if I'm arguing that, like, British metal kind of ended with the first Onslaught album, I definitely think that's true. Not that there wasn't anything good after that, but like I think after sort of the heyday where like UK metal was really on top and that was like the shit, that was like the gold standard. I think after like 1985, that just turned around. You know, Iron Maiden kept making good records for a while. Onslaught made another great record. They did The Force after that, right? But like that was sort of the turning point. I feel like was Power from Hell. You know what I mean? Where that was great. But then after that, it just wasn't going to be like relevant and vital in the same way the other shit had been. That's how grubby this sounds, though. Anyway, I was going to say, if I were making that argument, you wanted to argue against me, this would be a pretty good band to bring up because these guys are really pretty good, and they're filthy in a way that's pretty fantastic. Definitely kind of punky, you know. This actually sounds even shittier than I remember it. It's a cool band though, man. Cool record. Man, who else was on Metalworks? You know who else is on Metalworks? I think. What was this band? Yeah, these guys, man. Lord Crucifier. This is my second copy of this. I had it once, I let it go, and I got it again to get another chance. I know something, every time I've played this record, I thought it was kind of lame, like not really that great, except for one time. One time I pulled this record out, and I was like, oh man, this is fucking fantastic. What was I thinking all those other times, you know? And every time I pulled it out since, I'd be like, man, maybe this time it'll hit me like it did that one time in the past, you know? But it hasn't happened yet. I don't know, man. But I think, not Lords of the Crimson Line, so Prophets of Doom. I think that was a Metalworks band too. I'm pretty sure this was a fake band too. Yeah. This record I haven't gotten into even once. Although maybe it's time to give it another chance. Maybe I'll leave it out. Maybe I'll leave both of them out. What the hell, man? Just have a little UK metal thing to do. But yeah, man, like shopping by label, I sort of talk about sometimes it's great, like with fucking Ironworks shit, right? You stay away from the obviously glam ones, and most of it's fantastic. But Metalworks, you're gonna get some clunkers if you're buying them all up. Get the Deliverance records by all means. And the Virus records are worth it too. Beyond that, nothing great is coming to mind right off the top of my head. I don't think it was Lords of the Crimson Alliance song. I think that was one of those Canadian ones. I'm gonna pull this out to listen to because it's been a while. Fucking Lord, The Second Coming. I just found this one in the wild. I got this at Amoeba Hollywood, if I remember correctly. On Golden Bear Records, out of Pasadena. Yeah, and this record's good too. Yeah, no, this is on Grudge Records. There you go. Talk about a label that sure looks like it's gonna be shitty. I mean, Grudge. And that record is crap, that band. I don't know how the hell they ended up with a band called Grudge and a label called Grudge with the same logo. But this record's pretty cool. Alright, well, I have some more shit to listen to. And maybe you do too, if you haven't like known everything that I pulled out this video. So anyway, sort of a cross section, some great shit, some not so great shit, and some shit that I just didn't fucking remember. So, alright. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. I'll see you next time.